Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and we're going to take a closer look at this Fenix WT25R. It's kind of a Worklight, great for automotive applications, mechanics. But first I wanted to clean up a few things in my ongoing saga with that SOG knife from the pawn shop I'm working on. First of all, this is the SOG pillar. Now, I had mentioned, and this was kind of interesting, I thought, I had mentioned that I was a little unsure about the SOG product line simply because they made really expensive knives like this made in USA CPM S35 VN steel pillar. I love this knife. I've had it for many years. Just an outstanding knife. And they make other knives that might be $12, and I don't know where they're made and if they're any good. So let's go back. First of all, I had mentioned a couple of things. One of them was a very small knife, CRKT, that had just basically a spine and finger grooves. This actually does fit very well in the hand, so I was not averse to trying a small knife with finger grooves. This is one that I carry as a neck knife hunting. This is an EC or SE Kangaroo, little tiny guy. You can see it's a Rowan design. I got the purple blank with obviously they've got I think it's a 1095 steel with a powder coating, and then I put these G10 beautiful little orange scales on it. Not cheap, but anyway, I like this. It does fit well in the hand, and for a neck knife, it's great. The neck knife allows you to simply pull it out, yank it out, and you've got a fully functional opened knife. Another one that I carry hunting, I've mentioned before, was this Benchmade Altitude. This is sort of like my backup hunting knife. Super thin, super light, but still an excellent blade. And as you can see, this one's S90V steel with the orange covering. I think that's powder coat. But it's a solid little knife for when you need a cutting edge. So this is where I was at. I took my knife, my little SOG here, and I did wrap it in paracord. I tried a couple of different ways and ended up deciding on this one, and I actually went with a smaller diameter than the traditional paracord. And I actually ran extra thickness through the spine in the wrap compared to down below. So the spine's a little thicker, a little thinner here. I couldn't get it to wrap just right around these, so I went with tightness instead, and I left enough little room here for a lanyard should that be something I want to do with this. But look at that. That is great. Even though it's you know, run-of-the-mill stainless steel, it is a solid knife. I have not found a resolution on the blade cover yet. I've contacted SOG, haven't heard back. I may try to repair it, but overall, there it is. That's a nice little clip point survival knife, neck knife, with, I think, a much better, much easier to grab, much more functional handle, and always fun. I mean, that's what I do, especially if I'm trying to build out some orange-themed kit. So, let's take a look now at this Fenix Light. I'm impressed. There are some things. First of all, it does have a proprietary charging. Let's get that out of the way. They use this thing here, which is a USB, as one of the charging methods. It does snap on. It does work very well, but it is yet one more charging port that is not a standard instead of a USB-C. If I come back here, I can pop this open and free up this housing. It's a very strong magnetic housing here to show you the 3400 milliamp 18650 battery. This is a Fenix battery. Of course, any 18650 should work just fine in here. And then it's got this extra cap. So what do we have? We have got a 105-degree articulating head on this. There are some other lights that I've worked with that have that articulating head. Not sure what that's made of. It feels more like an ABS plastic than a metal, but I haven't figured it out. You can see there's a lanyard tie right here. So what are my choices? Well, on the speed on this thing, the 1000 lumens is the, you fire it up here, you can see the battery charger, kind of nice. The 1000 lumens is the turbo mode. High is the regular mode. So I'm starting here at low. If I hold it in, or if I click it. That's the other thing. I keep mixing up the user interfaces amongst different lights. On this one, you hold it in to fire it up. Okay? You hold it to stop it. That's a little different than just a click. Once it's on, if I hold it, it'll stop. So what do I have to do? I have to click. So here is I went from my 50 lumens to my 150 to my 400 to my 1000. We're going to go outside and take a look at this in a sec, and then it starts over again. I can get it into a flash mode. I won't do it in a strobe mode. The strobe is a full 1000. That's sometimes a little unusual. And then the SOS, excuse me, is 50 lumens. Now this does have a strong magnet here. That is good because if you're trying to, I'm going to obviously test things to their level. It will stand up to being able to, hold on, let me get my SOG pillar out. That's a good use for it. So you can see it does hang on just fine. This is kind of nice, and the orange peel, and if you look here, you can see there is a fairly strong hot spot, but there, you can see it right here. This is the hot spot, plus a pretty good spread. Let's head outside and see what this thing actually does. So here we're taking a look at it outside. You can see the battery indicator. There are 4 dots on that half moon there. Firing it up on the low end, you could certainly walk fast through a forest at night with that. Then here we go. That's where I got to learn the interface. There's the mediums, one of the mediums, there's the medium, there's the high, and there's the turbo. So it really does fire quite a ways away. You got a lot of juice in that 18650. Zoom in a little bit to show you. Excellent color rendition. That's nice. And the orange peel reflector does give it a super nice wide view, as well as that hot spot, which is important for long reach. It's not a reacher or a thrower flashlight, but it certainly can focus it somewhat like the human eye. So using something like this, I like that they are not round. It does use the round battery, but simply having something that doesn't roll around. An excellent large pocket clip. I thought I'd show you this. I keep complaining about this Milwaukee having what I think is a backward pocket clip. So here we go. We fold up the light so it's pointed 90 degrees. And look at that. The pocket clip's on the front, essentially where the light is pointed, whereas this is on the back, so you can easily slide it down into a pocket, belt, a backpack strap, something like that, and use it. And I have tried that at night. It works great. Just allows you to walk, and then of course you can adjust this. It does have a little bit of downward. I think that's important. Milwaukee has a little downward too. Sometimes that's what you want. You're vertical, but you also want to see what's right in front of you. Another thing I want to point out here, here's the newer Fenix. This is the version 3 of the E12. I have been using the E11 for many, wow, now that I think about it, I'm kind of old, but anyway, many years. And the E11 is basically on-off. You see that? And the E12, on the other hand, has 3 speeds and a magnetic cap on the back, so it does stand up. Again, kick it so you can see at what point it does give up right there. So it uses a AA battery. I have swapped out, like I do in most of my batteries, to these Energizer lithiums. In fact, I was digging through one, and here's the battery. Check that out. Here's an Energizer. Normally, I don't have Energizers corrode on my in my lights, but there we go. When did it expire? Let's see, 2023. Good grief. 1 year. Anyway, so this thing, I like it. It's gotten smaller. And the magnetic housing, but also, if you look at this, there's the full end. What do I have on the top end of this guy? I have 200 lumens for 1 hour. There I go down to the bottom. This is 5 lumens. I can get 100 hours. and then I can get 30 lumens for 15 hours. So I can just toggle through just tapping that. And that's great, because often that's all I need is that little 5 lumens, whereas this thing's kind of all or nothing. You can see there. Still a good light. I like Fenix Lights. I'm going to do more with Fenix. They make some great high-end ones. I think I did a video on this LD30. And I have been a major fan of Fenix headlamps for many years. In fact, this is one of my favorites. This is the HM50R. It uses a little CR123 or the rechargeable version. It does have a recharging port if you happen to have that recharging. Super light, very simple. Others, this is a AA one, that HL30. Had this, I don't know, going on 10 years maybe. In fact, look at that. You can see it is broken. It is cracked. This has been through all kinds of stuff. That's one of the problems with some of the lights. If they have big plastic housings or they're heavy. Anyway, it's real life here at Last Best Tool. But here we go. Nice solid build. Fenix WT25R. Articulating 90-degree box light with an 18650 battery. Rechargeable for those who are interested, and replaceable for those who want that too. And with that, Doc out.